lovers. It's Shaneka again. And I wanted to just make sure that I show up frequently for you and to connect with you and answer the questions that you send to me. So I have been going through my email, and one of the questions that was posed was, why is it called Your Marriage Rocks? And that's a really good question. Well, I called it Your Marriage Rocks because I work with couples who, when couples come to counseling, they have a problem. There's an issue, and the marriage is kind of rocky. And so my goal is always to take the marriage from being rocky to a marriage that rocks, that is solid, that is vibrant, and they're happy in his healthy relationship. So I want people's marriage to rock in a good way, rock meaning fun, and to be built on a solid foundation. And I referenced the scripture Matthew 7:24-27, the 7th chapter, the 24th through the 27th verse, where you have several, three people who are building a house, and the one who built the house on a solid rock, solid foundation, is the one whose house sustained. Okay, and when you have a solid foundation, no matter what happens in your marriage, you can get through it. Because some things happen in our marriage, it comes externally. It comes from other people, other things. It's not something that we may do, but it's just how the devil attacks us, and how the devil is consistent with attacking one's marriage. So, and then there are some things that we go through in our marriage that we impose on ourselves, that we cause the issue, whether that is lying, cheating, manipulating, being abusive. We cause those problems. Okay, so the reason why I call it Your Marriage Rocks is because I want you to have a solid, strong marriage. Okay. So the next question was, someone emailed me. I made a statement, and I think a previous marriage masterclass, like, what do you mean by the truth will hurt you before it heals you? And that was something I was actually sitting in church maybe a year or so ago, maybe, and I heard that statement through the sermon: the truth will cut you, or the truth will hurt you before it heals you. And I was like, man, if that didn't just hit me like boom. And it was so powerful. That's what I mean, like boom. It was such a powerful statement, and it resonated with me. And I was like, yes, that is so true, because sometimes we hear the truth and it hurts so bad, and in that pain we respond in a defensive way. We can become angry, we can become so rageful, and we can hurt other people, or we can just become so sad, so depressed, that we start to just withdraw from life. So we respond to hurt, or we respond to the truth in different ways. Okay, and one way is going to stretch you, and is going to grow you, and the other one is going to sabotage you. Okay, so when I share that the truth is going to hurt sometimes, we don't want to hear about our shortcomings. Because if I said to you, I want you to sit down with your spouse, and I want the two of you to openly share each other's shortcomings, you wouldn't like that. You wouldn't like that at all, because who wants to hear that they have these flaws, or they have these challenges, or they have these defaults in some areas? No one wants to hear that they lie, or they're always doing something to hurt their spouse. Someone doesn't want to hear that you have two faces. You show me one face and you show the world the other face. And there are some spouses that's living like that, where they have two faces, and people will not even believe that someone's husband is abusive because he's so charming, and someone will not even believe the wife can just verbally tear her husband apart with her tongue, because she's so holy and so sanctified, so put together and so poised in public. So, oftentimes I do challenge one to take self inventory because that is how we grow. That is how we grow. And so, what I mean when I say the truth will cut you or it will hurt you, because lots of times we just don't want to hear it. That's what we're hiding from, and that's what we are running from, is being exposed. And let me just share this with you. If you're married, if you are married, one thing that marriage will do, it will expose you. It will expose who you really are, your true self. And if it's not what you like, then you will try to cover it up, or you will surrender to that. You will surrender to the process of exposure, and you will grow. Okay, you will be stretched. And the beauty of personal growth is that we don't always enjoy it. When we're going through a challenge, a individual challenge or something, or a challenge in our marriage, we're being stretched, and we're being used, meaning we're being used to open up our eyes and to see our flaws, not our spouse's flaws, but to see our flaws and grow up. And although it's painful, although it may hurt, you can grow through that. You can grow through it as an individual, and you can grow through that as a couple. So if you want to take that challenge and talk to each other about, tell me, hold that mirror up to your spouse and say, you know what, babe, I really want to talk to you about some things that I'm seeing in you, that I want to see you grow through, and I want to see you actually, you know, stretched and become a better woman, or become a better man, become a better wife to me, and become a better husband to me, and say that in the most loving and honest way. And when you hold that mirror up, it's not to point the finger and tear them down. It's to actually to empower them to say, hey, this is where you are, but this is where I see you. I want to see you, and I tell couples, I want you to reach for, your highest potential that you can reach in God's highest expectations of you, because that's why we're in this together. It's not for us to conceal and cover up. It's for us to expose ourselves to each other. Because the first thing that Adam and Eve did after they sinned, they covered up. That's what they did. They covered up. So, although the truth may hurt, although the truth may cut you, it will heal you and it will set you free. All right? So that's one thing that I challenge you to do. Talk to each other about your shortcomings, about your flaws, and where you can grow together.